is they're giving you good advice because at some point they didn't have money and the situation occurred and they had a bad experience and then they lost something or just had a pain point. And although you should have some money in reserve, I genuinely believe having a credit line or having access to other money or having access to assets is going to be a better move than just having money for the sake of saving. And I'll go into deeper detail onto why that it's a key principle. And if you miss it, because there's a lot of people who just save for save. I'll go into it in a little bit. The real value, the reason we save is to invest. Saving to save for a rainy day creates more rainy days. That's the key. When you focus on something, you get more of it. So if we're saving for bad weather, for bad days, for economic breakdowns, for having money in reserves, for just the sake of problems, we're going to attract more problems to us. That doesn't mean be fiscally irresponsible, right, Mike? It means save for investment, have some money in reserves, but more importantly, have credit lines. Because how much should you save? How much should you have in reserves? How much would you need in your life if something actually went wrong? It's an arbitrary number, and you couldn't put something on it, but there are people who have numbers. There are people who wrote books who have a business around protecting people's money. Actually, Mike, can you write in the chat, what is the book of the week? I know we talked about it last week. Just send it over to Ron so I can remember the title. There's the Money Mastery, Wealth Principles. There's all sorts of people who've written books. That's right, The Simple Path to Wealth. So The Simple Path to Wealth is all about finding the one investment that's going to give you the return on investment for everything that you do in your life. It's making money and investing it. Making money and investing it. Right now, we're looking at one of the fastest drops in the stock market since 1987. Since the big crash, we've experienced in the last 2 weeks some crazy crashes in the stock market, driven by two major factors, reducing oil prices, but more importantly, it's been this fear around COVID-19, around coronavirus, which is a very real thing. There's a real, genuine virus out there that's affecting people's lives, and it is taking lives, and there's some real precautions around it, which is why today everybody's being responsible. So thank you everyone on the Zoom call. Thank you Mario, John, Joe, Mike, Marcia, everybody on the Zoom call. Thank you guys for being responsible. And I can feel the missing energy in the room, but just seeing your faces online, it helps a lot. So I appreciate you guys. There you go. And everybody Facebook Live, thank you for being responsible. Thank you for staying at home and watching this instead of being out here. That said, all of the fear around what's happening isn't effective for the stock market. The knowledge and awareness that yes, we shouldn't be out connecting with each other and coughing and sneezing at each other is a real deal. Not going to restaurants, not being in large groups, staying home and isolating yourself is actually it's intelligent, has nothing to do with the stock market. What's happening in the stock market is based 100% on fear. It's based on people being afraid that values of good quality businesses are going to go down. We're seeing great companies drop right now. It's not a reason, a virus is not a reason to pull money out of the stock market. It's just a natural phenomenon. Now, right now with this change, if you were saving to invest like Mike was, like I was, like Ron was, you have an opportunity to invest. If you were saving for a rainy day, well, here's your rainy day. You see the difference? Anybody who is saving for a rainy day now has all the food in their house, they have all the toilet paper in their house, and their funds are spent. They don't have any money left, and maybe they have a little money to hold on to for the next couple of weeks to support their loss of income. But the people who are saving to invest have far more money. We still have our reserves. We still have, the rainy day fund. It's a small amount compared to how much we save to invest. So when I say don't save for a rainy day, but I'm not saying don't have savings. What I'm suggesting is have a bigger goal. Have an investment goal. Have something that you want to save to get into. What's up, Bill? Good to see you, brother. Have a plan. So for us, me and Ron, we know every single year we're going to take our money and reinvest it. We're going to, any profits we have, there's a massive amount we want to reinvest. What is your number for the next property? Think in your head, or for an investment in your company, or an investment in the stock market. What is a number that you would find as a national, like a good piece, where if you had this number, you can go and buy something? Think about that number right now, whatever that figure is, and write it down. Write down that figure. For me, for example, if you've never had a piece of property before and you're buying your first 3-family and it's going to be in Fall River and the price is $280,000, your down payment's probably somewhere around $10,000 to $12,000, and maybe you want a little bit in reserve. So we'll say $12,000 to $15,000. So if this is the beginning of your career and you haven't bought your first property, that's a realistic amount to save for investment. Now, what's a realistic amount to save for a rainy day? They say 2, 3, 6 months of what your monthly expenses are. If you can save 3 to 6 months of your monthly expenses, that's a good nest egg for you to have in your rainy day fund. But for your investment fund, you have to have both. You have to fill both funnels. It's 2 different baskets. You have your savings for if something ever happens, but you have on this other side saving for investment. If all you ever focus on is rainy day fund, that's all you'll ever have, and you'll attract more rainy days. But when you focus on having the investment fund, you're going to get more investments. You'll still have your rainy day fund. It's not going anywhere. You have to save for that investment fund. Now, this is a perfect example. Ron, what are you doing with not all, but what are you doing with some of your investment savings right now?
I'm looking at some REITs and buying while they're low.
You want to come over here, man? Because people can't see you over there.
Okay.
Yeah, all right. I can't turn the camera, brother. Either I'll bring it over to you, you come over here to me. Ron Bowling, everybody. Give him a round of applause. It's a little odd with the mute. But we know you were clapping. So, Ron, what are you doing with your investment funds right now? We just put a whole bunch of money in.
Yeah, we're investing them. We're buying into some REITs now while the prices are really low and the dividend yields are really high.
And why are the dividend yields so high right now?
Because the prices are so low.
Right. Well, what is the relationship between price and dividend yield?
Why don't you tell it?
Well, all right. Well, I'm going to call you back, so don't go too far. So, obviously, Ron doesn't like the camera. Everybody who's been in the class knows that I just pulled him on, right, Mike? If I'd pulled you on, it would have been a whole different story. So,
I have to do it on here.
Yeah, I actually would love to. Actually, you know what? I'm going to unmute you, Mike. All right. Let me pull it this way. Go in, meeting settings, participants.
No.
We're going to mute all.
No. Hit that again. Mute all.
Still get up every day.
And then uncheck that. Mute all.
Hey, there you go. I need
Mute
to take
all.
the controls.
Uncheck
Perfect.
that. There
Excellent.
you go.
So while Ron's getting that under control.
And who are you talking to? Mike?
Mike Shine.
There we go.
There you go. Unmute. Mike, are you unmuted?
I'm unmuted.
Excellent. We got you. So what is the connection between price and dividend yield? When, say, a stock is $10 and its dividend yield is 12%, what happens when that stock goes down to $5?
That dividend goes up to 20%.
That dividend goes up to 20%. It's absolutely ridiculous.
Not exactly. But yeah.
It's around that.
NRZ right now is crazy.
NRZ is a perfect example of a real estate investment trust that was trading high and is now, for absolutely no fundamental reason, now trading low. And so with the low trade, we're getting a higher dividend yield. Have you bought into NRZ, Mike?
No, I was doing more stocks. I was just thinking of you, but I'm doing nibble on some Microsoft and some Apple.
And those are companies you believe in. Those are fundamentally strong companies. You believe in them. You've probably always wanted their stock, but it was always too expensive.
Yeah, exactly.
This is the opportunity.
I was thinking about buying NRZ on Friday, but then it turned 4 o'clock, so I said, well,
Yeah, a little too late.
yeah.
There's a stock I follow, and by the way, as we're talking stocks, please understand that none of this is relevant to you after this video. And furthermore, this is relevant stock choice is very personal. So what you invest in is 100% personal, and this is not advice of any kind. but there was a stock I follow, MORL, which is a 2 times leveraged company where they support mortgage-backed REITs, but they leverage 2 times over it. So the name is terrifying, right, Mike?
Yes.
You hear a name that's mortgage-backed REIT, 2 times leverage during a time right now, it's like, oh my God, what are they doing? And most investors who are into something like that will back out and sell it off. The reason that they bought it in the first place is because it's got a high dividend yield. Now, the way this REIT works is that as interest rates go down, its profits go up because it's cheaper for it to borrow money now. And it actually makes a higher profit on the existing loans. Every loan that it has is not getting refinanced tomorrow. So for the next few months, it's actually gonna have a very high dividend yield. And what they did is go from an $15 trading price down to 23 cents.
Wow.
And I wish I bought it to 23 cents. I bought it 50. I bought 1,000 shares of 50. And it cost me $500, right? But this would have cost me 30 times more if I'd bought it 2 weeks ago. And the dividend yield is insane right now. It's 124%, which is absolutely nuts. Now, again, this is because, like me and Mike were talking about, it's stocks you like, stocks you've been following, stocks you trust. This is not the time to go figure out stocks. And same with real estate. If you've never invested in real estate, get your first deal, own or occupy it, do the multifamily. It makes a lot of sense to learn the hands-on and figure it out in the beginning, and then eventually you start investing in the bigger stuff. But this whole crash in the stock market, this is what we've been saving for, right? Since 2008, 2009, we've been thinking, hey, this is coming. We know at some point the market's going to turn. And this is what we've been saving for, putting aside money for investment, not money for a rainy day. Mike, you still have your rainy day fund, right?
Yes.
5 kids and a wife. What's your rainy day fund's a priority for you, right?
Yeah.
And you have it.
Thank God.
But you
Thank
have
God.
more, I assume, in your investment account. You have more in your save for investment.
Exactly.
And why would you say that relationship exists? Why is it that way?
Because of what Wealth Principle 8 is. We saving to invest. This is Warren Buffett. This is exactly what he said. While everybody's scared, Warren Buffett is, with his billions of dollars saved up, is now probably, we'll find out next quarter what he was buying, but I guarantee he's buying all these stocks that he always wanted to buy at pennies on the dollar. So.
That's exactly right. He's buying on sale. Like, you're right. We'll find out next quarter. Because if you knew what he was buying right now, you'd be buying it.
Right.
So right now, Warren is buying everything that he's always wanted. Same with me, Ron, Mike. Anybody who has been paying attention to the stock market, who's been saving their money for investment, specifically for investment, is now able to move. We're able to move fast. We're able to move intelligently. We're not looking at all the things and saying, oh, well, I wonder if that's a good company. We already know what we're buying. We knew why we were saving it. We knew that at this price, no doubt I was moving into that investment. And the same thing happens with real estate. And the same thing happens with your business, right? We've been talking about this for the last 8 weeks, how the first step in building wealth is building yourself a business, giving yourself something that will generate more income for you, a big stream of income, an investment in something that grows over time so that you can invest in other things. The whole concept in owning a business is to save that money to invest in other businesses, to invest in other stocks, to invest in other real estate assets. A piece of real estate that cash flows is a business. A stock that you purchase is a business. Even a mutual fund that you purchase is a business. And then your personal business is obviously a business. So when people ask, what is the first investment I should make? The first investment really should be in your business. It really should be first in yourself, because that's the best investment you can make. Second investment needs to be marketing. It needs to be bringing in salespeople. It could be a location, but in this economy, in this day and age, this society, I don't think that brick and mortar is really helping people anymore. Mike, what do you think? I know for your business it still kind of makes sense, but what is your opinion on brick and mortar nowadays?
Yeah, unless you have a service business where you have to, like a retail business where people are seeing you, I don't see that. Although having said that Jeff Bezos, he took over the whole market by not being brick and mortar, but now they're starting to do Amazon. I mean, besides Whole Foods, they're starting brick and mortar markets that are less expensive than Whole Foods. So, I mean, maybe when you get to that level, but certainly you don't need to have that added expense.
Right. It cut the overhead early on, and investing in the right moves, the right plays by having that money set aside. So, for example, Facebook ads, if you can run Facebook ads and your business is legally able to do that, there are some businesses that are not allowed to run Facebook ads, but like, tobacco industries or there's plenty that can't do it anymore. But if alcohol can't run Facebook ads, no. Alcohol, tobacco, anything that's somewhat questionable, as far as like left wing, right wing, like they can't run ads because Facebook has removed that ability. But say you can run ads, that a good first step is to set an amount that you like to save to invest in running ads. Same with wholesalers, saving that amount to save to invest in Mojo, to save to invest in marketing, emails, mailers, the different systems and programs that you use as an investor. Putting that money aside and saving for those aspects while at the same time building your rainy day fund. At the same time still having something.
Don't we have, isn't there a couple of new real estate agencies that are all virtual now? Like, what was it, EXP?
EXP, Clockhouse, there's more and more coming online every day.
Right.
Alchemist Real Estate Group, right? Me and Ron's actually in his broker license now, so you'll see very soon they'll be started recruiting people to the team and expanding. In fact, last night I recorded 18 videos, training videos, so that new agents coming on board are getting plugged right into Alchemist right up front. So,
Nice job.
because it's digital, like you said, Mike, it's digital. We don't need that brick and mortar. An agent just needs to go on their phone, see all the training, and then go make money.
Gotcha.
Actually, they need to go help people, then make money. Yeah, exactly. I love it.
Hey, when you get a chance during this, I do want to give a quick review of the books.
I was just going to suggest that. Without further ado, Mike, run the book. What is the book of the week?
So the book of the week, and I did send a link in the chat for a picture of it. It's called The Simple Path to Wealth. So if you're not as sophisticated as Walter is with buying individual stocks, it's a book, and it's just what it says it is. It's a simple path to becoming wealthy. He doesn't say, this pretty funny line, he says that if you're in a street fight, should you use kicks? And he says, ask yourself one question. If your name is Bruce Lee, if the answer is no, then you don't use kicks in a street fight. And then he says, if your name isn't Warren Buffett, then don't try to stock pick because you won't be successful at it. And so basically he shows you one exchange traded fund that you can buy, which has every stock in the stock exchange, and you just buy that one, and it allows you to just build wealth and trust that the market's going to come back and go up. So it's a great read. It's a simple read, and even though it's financial stuff, it's a fun read. So there you go. So that's the book of the week, and I recommend it.
Yeah, I really like the way it was presented, and I can't remember the name of the stock. It was a VSX.
VT, like Vermont, VTSAX.
VTSAX, yep.
Yeah.
I checked it out. The dividend yield's very low on it now, though, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, even...
It's a different sort of... And also, if you can't afford the $3,000 to buy it at the beginning, there's VTI, which is the same thing.
Yep.
Basically, an exchange-traded fund by Vanguard, so it has really low fees on it.
Low expenses, yep.
A lot of these other mutual funds charge you like 2%, and somebody else is getting rich on your dime. So
Exactly.
That doesn't happen, but I told Samantha, my daughter, to buy some, so she started out. So she's on her simple path to wealth.
Nice. Great job, Mike. Give Mike a round of applause, guys. Good stuff. You know, it's a habit to say that, but without anybody in the room, it's got to be me and Ron. Let's get the round of applause.
Good job.
You can mute
Oh,
me
man.
now.
I am so used to live training. It's weird not having anybody in the room, but it's at the same time it's still like I feel like we're doing the right thing, and it's great having just a couple of you that I can actually talk to. So that said, I have
people here.
there's 12 people in this chat, and there's another 15 over here on Facebook Live. So it's a pretty good group, and then obviously this video gets recorded later on, so everybody has an opportunity to come back and train and watch us again. We're gonna make it a little shorter because there aren't a lot of questions. Ron, you had nothing in the chat, right? Perfect. So I talked to my coach last week. Everybody knows Paul Fink, the Maverick Millionaire. Mike's actually gone out to meet him. Ron's gone out to meet him. Mario and Marcia and Mel and Andrew and Amy have met him. And what he told me was we're at a time in the market where entrepreneurs need a little bit more training than they've had in the past. They need to know that this is a good opportunity for them to invest in their business, have that confidence. And he said that if somebody is interested, he'll do a one-on-one call with them. And I asked him, because this is not like Paul. Paul does events, and that's it. So I asked him, what's the reason for doing this? And what he says is he doesn't know when the next event he'll be able to do is. He doesn't know when he's going to be able to actually run an event. We're supposed to go in Orlando at the end of next month, but it may be canceled. So instead, he's going to reach out one-on-one and deliver some value to somebody who's never seen him before, is interested in doubling their income, interested in what do you do as an entrepreneur right now, how do you make that investment in yourself, and how do you take your business to the next level. So without further ado, I'm going to give a little rundown of what it is. He's got a bunch of questions, and if you are a trainer or a coach or looking to be a trainer or a coach, listening to these questions, if you're a salesperson, if you're a business owner who's looking to help your clients, listening to these questions is going to help you build a good form to bring people into your business. That said, listen to the questions. Are you concerned over what's going on? Are you frustrated? That you aren't in a place you wanted to be? Are you ready to take charge of your future? Ready to shift your life and shift your business? Crazy times for crazy measures. Crazy times because we haven't seen anything like it before. What are crazy measures? The actions you have never done before. Different mindset, different focus, different actions to create different results. Let's jump on a personal one-on-one call, the Maverick Momentum Call with Paul Fink, the Maverick Millionaire, to design your next step to creating a powerful, positive future. And yes, I've changed the name of the call to Maverick Momentum. If you're interested, so see what I did there? It starts off with questions of pain. It shifts into a guide of why you want to do something different, and then turns into, at the end, this is a call to action. Everybody recognize the call to action? Yes? If you've been in marketing before, marketing or sales, you know what a CTA is right away. So if you're interested in getting a one-on-one call with my coach, send in your name, send in your email, and send me your phone number. Just shoot me a message. If you're on Facebook Live, send me a message with your name, phone number, email, and ask for the opportunity to speak to the Maverick Millionaire. If you have my cell phone, you can just text me. Just straight text me and say, hey, I want to get that one-on-one call with Paul Fink. This is a free call. This is a no-charge, free opportunity. What we call in the business, this is a checkup from the neck up. This is just, hey, what are you doing? How's your business going? What is important to you? What's not important to you? And here's the opportunity that I see as valuable for you. He's doing this for free. Again, this is an opportunity for him to meet new entrepreneurs. It's an opportunity for him to meet my team, the people that I work with. And it's an opportunity for you to get some tips and advice from a multi-millionaire. Somebody who travels all across the country. He's owned real estate. He's got different investments, has different businesses, and has been a personal coach to me. So that's an opportunity. If you're interested, either text me, email me, or send me a message, name, number, email address. And Maverick Momentum Call is what it's all about. That said, we've got about 10, 15 minutes left in this training. Oh, there they are. Hi, how are you?
Hey,
yes.
Can you repeat those questions again? The Paul Fink questions?
Sure.
I wanted to write it down, or if you can put them in the show notes. I don't know how you do that.
I will put this whole, I'm going to put it on the Facebook Live. I'll go and take this whole section, I'll copy and paste it, and put it in the Facebook Live for you. Very good.
One question in the chat.
What's the question, Ron?
Should we continue to wait on VTSAX Still hasn't hit 5-year low. It's the first one at the top here.
Who's that asking, John?
iPhone.
iPhone. All right. So should you wait for that particular stock that me and Mike were just talking about to go to a 5-year low? I don't suggest or encourage any stocks. I don't encourage or suggest any mutual funds or of any kind. So if you do your research and you find it's a fundamentally strong company, yes. If you do your research and you find that it's not something you're interested in, then you make your decision. I'm not giving stock tips or stock advice. Mike, did somebody mute you? Are you muted?
Did you unmute him?
Yeah, maybe you muted yourself, my friend. I can't hear you. What do I say? All right. No.
Click on participants.
Oh, click on participants. Where do you see? Oh, there
Right
it
there.
is. Here we go. Mike,
No, unmute him there.
unmute. All right, Mike, you should be back.
All right, sorry about that. I just was talking to Brenda for a second.
No worries, man. No, we got you back in the game now. So, that said, right now is your opportunity to invest in opportunities that may not necessarily take monetary investment. If you have already exhausted all your funds or you lost money in the stock market, you're afraid to get back in, this is actually the right time to get back in. If you don't have any funds, you've exhausted them all, your funds are tied up in real estate, this is the best time for you to start focusing on building your business, investing time, investing energy, investing what funds you have in building your business and bringing in more leads, more clientele to you. Darina, hey, we got somebody in the room. Darina, come on over. Come on over. Yeah, come on. Come on. Mike's giving you a round of applause. There you go. Dave, how you doing, brother? Good to see you, man. So Darina traveled all the way down from Boston. We're gonna go hang out for a little bit today.
Yeah, I got stuck at home for too long, guys.
So if you saw the interview with Darina the other day, she's a phenomenal investor, and I've been watching her grow for the last 3 years. I've known you since
3 years.
17.
Yeah.
2017. She's bought 8 apartments in Worcester. She's managing. Oh, actually, you're not managing yourself anymore.
No, screw that.
So, so she's out of
Not
managing her own
anymore.
properties. She did an interview. You've got to check it out. I posted on YouTube. I posted it below on Facebook Live. You've got to check out the interview with Darina. And if you're in the Worcester market, if you're in the Waltham market, she's also a realtor, a great realtor, does a lot of good work. Ron, what are you looking at me for? What is that?
I'm comparing the picture to just.
Oh, cool. Well, you gave me the look, so.
Oh,
So anyway, Darina is an investor who's looking to help a lot of people this year. She's also got a really great story. So if you could, in like 2 minutes, tell us a little bit about yourself, how you got into the game. I know, Mike, so you're put on the spot.
Thanks so much for putting me on the spot.
Go ahead.
Well, guys, I'm an immigrant, so and even I think we have different perspective on if we don't make it work, nobody else will make it work for us. So I came about 10 years ago, and I started investing about 4 years ago. Took a bunch of seminars, started growing my network, and I was very open-minded to learn a lot. And because of that, I think I was just gaining a lot of knowledge. And at some point, I started to apply that. So you gotta, it can't be always only going to seminars. You have to start applying it, and if you have reasons why you need all that, you'll definitely get yourself up early in the morning and start doing the business. I think still it's kind of like a slow process for me. I always beat myself
Don't be so
up
hard on yourself.
that I have to have more than I have right now, but I think it's the process, it's the people we meet along the way, and it's all of you are so inspiring, and even every day we meet someone inspiring, and that's what sort of like makes me do
Mike's
more.
giving you a clap.
Oh, thank you.
Nice.
Yeah, I mean, it all begins with the mindset, obviously. That's like number one thing, and then everything else is just it's just like a bonus.
And that's why we go to the events, right? That's why we go to the events. And me and Mike, we say it all the time. We don't have anywhere near what we want, right? and me and Ron say it all the time, we're at 50, well, we just sold a couple properties, so now we're down to 50 units, 51 units, and we still don't have anywhere near what we want. You know, so it's not a race, it's not about how many units you have, it's have you done more than you did the year before? Have you improved? Have you taken some ground? Have you taken some market share? This is your opportunity right now, Darina, Mike, everybody on this call, Dave, Vicky, James, Jordan, Dan, Bill. This is your opportunity to take market share. Everything is on sale. Just because you've been in real estate for so long doesn't mean you can't shift some of your funds over to the stock market. Just because you have no knowledge in the stock market doesn't mean that you can't stay in real estate and start picking up deals. We know in the next 30 to 90 days, sellers are gonna be selling their houses motivated as hell because they just lost hundreds of thousands of dollars in the stock market. Many investors have lost 30 to 50 to 60% in the stock market right now, and they're no longer safe. They no longer have the nest egg. Now they're looking at their other assets. They're maybe looking at that paid off house saying, I've just got to sell this. And so many people are going to have the same experience, and they're going to start selling it to us to a discount, at a discount. It's your opportunity as a wholesaler, as a real estate investor, as a real estate agent to be making those phone calls and getting into those sellers' homes and helping them move and transition quickly. The sooner we do it, the more money they're going to make. If we wait too long, these sellers are going to be in very desperate situations, and they're not going to be able to sell the properties or move in the manner that they're going to have to benefit them the most. So it's really up to us now to start taking action, to start those seller campaigns and paying attention to people. This is still a great time to buy. Interest rates are low. If you haven't refinanced your properties, now is the time.
I'm gonna let you do your thing.
Give Darina a round of applause. She's awesome.
Thanks, guys.
Hey, Darina, hold on. Before you go, how much did you spend on coaching and training and events?
Wow.
Total, the big number, the big goose egg.
number. Oh, if we take all
Not
the
the goose egg.
years,
Over the years,
25, 30K.
25,000.
Like
All
a
right.
lot.
Give her a round of applause. Good stuff.
Okay.
That's it.
Thanks.
That's all I want. I just want to. Yep. So we talk about it, right? And I'm well over 80,000. I'm well over 85,000, and we talk about it as well. You know, you can't go to all the. You know, at some point you got to stop going to trainings. You got to start taking action. But there's also a point where you got to get training. you got to shift your mindset. You got to get the books. You got to get the coaches. You got to get the trainers. You got to get the mentors. You got to talk to people. Ron, what is your question?
There's another question in the chat.
What is the question in the chat?
How are you guys going to make out with tenants during this time? And what if legislation goes through that people don't have to pay their rent this month, next month, etc.?
Well, we're going to continue business as always. If legislation says we don't have to, that a tenant doesn't have to pay rent, then legislation will also say we don't have to pay mortgage.
There you go.
There's no legislation that just does one without the other. So if the government tells us that we have to forgive all rent, then they'll also tell us we're forgiving all mortgages. So we're not concerned about whether, and we're very lenient with our tenants right now during this period. If a tenant can't pay, we're still serving them. We're going through the whole process, same thing we've always done. Sticking to the laws, sticking to the fundamentals. If a tenant doesn't pay on the 1st, on the 3rd, they're getting served, regardless of following the process. Usually that's enough to get the tenant to pay. We serve every month somewhere between 3 to 7 tenants.
Yeah.
Fluctuating. It's 3 to 7 tenants get served, and at the end of the month, typically no evictions. It's just part of our process. We've always done it, and we'll continue to do it. If for some reason the government says you guys don't have to pay rent, then I can guarantee you on the other side, they're also going to say you don't have to pay your mortgage. And during that, we'll address that at that time. But let me be very clear. Right now, the government is not saying that. The government is not saying that a tenant doesn't have to pay rent. They're asking us to be lenient. They're asking us to be understanding, in which we are. But we're not in the business to lose money, just like the bank is not in the business to lose money. Because it's more important here. If we lose too much funds, we lose our properties. And that is never acceptable. You always pay your debts. And we have to hold our tenants to the same high standards of you create a debt with us. If you can't commit to it, leave. Leave the asset, go somewhere else. Move in with family, move into a shelter. But if you can't stick to your commitment, your agreement, then this isn't the right relationship for you. And a lot of landlords have that understanding, have been very successful, stay with it. Any landlord who doesn't grasp it that way, well, we'll be buying their houses 3 to 6 months from now. Does that make sense? Yes.
Payment plan.
Payment
The only
plans.
guy unmuted. Unmute everybody.
Yeah, no, I can't unmute everybody. It's way too loud. So the other option, yeah, you're right. There are payment plans that we've put in place for some, and it's very, very strict, the tenants that we've chosen. If a tenant isn't able to pay and they're in the service industry and they're truly not making money, then we do have a way for them to, they're still making a payment. We're not accepting a lack of payment, but 70% of rent is acceptable for us. We're giving them that little bit of leeway, but they're going to owe us over the next 2 to 3 months to bring that money back in. So it's still an option, but we're asking our tenants to be responsible. We're asking our tenants to make sure that they're intelligent with their funding and making sure that they're able to pay their bills. Put it on a credit card. I'd rather you put it on a credit card than owe me money, right? Because I'd rather you stay in your house and have a safe home and pay your credit card bill later on. That's the advice we've been giving our tenants. So, great question. And that concludes the meeting for this week. If you have any questions, send me a message, shoot me a text. It's great to have you guys in the network. These next couple weeks are huge opportunities. Right, Bill? You get it, brother. These next couple weeks are huge opportunities for real estate investors all over the country. For anybody who's been saving money, this is a great opportunity for you to invest in the marketplace, invest in stocks that you know are fundamentally strong, and just stay safe, stay at home, work on your business. Like I said, I recorded 18 videos last night, building our training course. You can work on pieces of your business right now that are going to add value to you. Cheers to your success. I'll see you soon. When you have a choice, always work with the best.